They say the job pays well because of the hours. That's BS. It pays well because you might not survive the first week. The Red Veil sits just off a forgotten stretch of highway, surrounded by trees that lean too close and whisper too loud. On the surface, it looks like a high-end gentleman's club. Neon sign, velvet rope, tall, stunning women with impossible bodies and eyes that shine just a little too brightly in the dark. But this place isn't just for men. It's for monsters. And if you want to make it out alive, you follow the rules. Every new hire gets a handwritten list. No digital copies allowed. It's tucked in a leather-bound book and pressed into your hands by the day manager, who never makes eye contact. I was warned not to read them out loud. Here they are. Rules for night security at the Red Veil. Do not speak to the dancers. They are not human. They will speak to you. They will flirt. They'll remember your name, your mother's name, the dreams you had as a child. Do not answer. If one touches you, clock out immediately and leave without turning your back. Number 2, the mirrors lie. Ignore what you see in them. If your reflection is missing, keep working. If it smiles at you when you're not smiling back, leave. If it beckons, do not follow. Number 3, there is no cleaning staff. If you find a pile of blood-soaked clothing in the champagne room, ignore it. If you hear whispering from the walls, hum a tune you don't remember learning, never ever whisper back. And more importantly, never ever mop after 3 a.m. Number 4, the girl in the white does not work here. She might ask you for help. She might cry. She might be tied to a chair in a private suite. But she is bait. If you untie her, you'll take her place. Number 5, at 4:04 a.m., the music stops. The lights dim and the club goes silent. This is the feeding break. Do not move. Do not breathe loud. Do not let them know you're still alive. You'll know when it's over when the music resumes, and not a second before. Number 6, the boss arrives at dawn. She wears red like the sunrise and smells like roses and smoke. If she speaks to you, do not lie. If you survive her gaze, congratulations, you've earned another night. My name is Kellen Reyes, ex-military, no family, no attachments. I thought it made me a good candidate. Clean background, quiet, unreliable, but the rules don't protect you. They delay the inevitable. I broke rule number 1 on my second shift. She looked at me like she already owned my soul, and that maybe she did. She called herself Mira, and her smile made my blood turn to smoke. Now I'm bleeding into this page, trying to finish the last sentence before she comes back. If you're reading this, don't take the job. Burn the book, and whatever you do, don't look in the mirror. The office was colder than it should have been. No windows, one flickering bulb overhead. The desk between them looked like it had been stolen from a church confessional. Old, carved oak with symbols I didn't recognize. Across from me sat a man in a charcoal suit. No name, no smile. He didn't even introduce himself. He just opened a thick leather folder and began reading aloud.
You served 2 tours. Honorable discharge. No criminal record. No spouse. No kids. No close friends. Perfect.
His eyes were yellow, not hazel. Yellow. I shifted in my chair. What exactly is this place? The man closed the folder and folded his hands.
We provide discretion, entertainment, safety for creatures who require privacy. And we need someone to keep the doors closed during certain hours, if you understand. You're not here to interfere. You're here to observe and follow the rules.
He slid the leather folder across the table. Inside was a sheet of heavy yellow paper with calligraphy that looked handwritten.
Read this, memorize it, and burn it before your first shift. If you break any of the rules, well, you'll find out what comes after. Now get out of my office.
On my first night, the red veil pulsed with sensuality and shadows. Red velvet curtains framed the main stage. Incense drifted through the air, heavy with jasmine and something metallic underneath. The clientele wore eyes wide shut style masks, elaborate ones, like animals, angels, or devils. And the dancers, beautiful. They were too perfect, too fluid, limbs bending like silk in the wind, eyes that shimmered gold, silver, or black, curvy, soft, sensual, voluptuous. One smiled at me as she passed, and my breath got caught in my throat, trying not to smile back. I was stationed in the corner, near the emergency exit, earpiece in, hands clasped. The music throbbed like a heartbeat. Every so often, the lights would flicker, but not randomly, in patterns like they were blinking in code. At 2:17 a.m., I saw a girl in a champagne room being fed grapes by a man with horns. She didn't blink. Her mouth never moved. When I walked past again, she was gone. Just a smear of red lipstick left on the couch, and I didn't ask any questions. At the end of my second night, I found the yellow-eyed man waiting in a hallway by the break room.
"You're adapting well,"
he said.
"Most new hires leave after the first feeding break."
I think I blacked out. I don't remember anything.
You didn't black out. You instinctively shut down to survive, and that's what we're looking for.
He put a hand on my shoulder, cold and heavy.
But remember, Mr. Reyes, survival is not guaranteed, especially when you're curious.
On the fifth night, just after 3 a.m., the lights dimmed and a dancer stepped off the stage and walked right towards me. She was tall, pale, hair the color of dying embers. She wore a gown of shimmering obsidian, clinging to her curves like smoke. Gorgeous. Her name, I shouldn't have known it, burned in my mind. Mira. She stopped inches from me. "You're not like the others," she whispered. Her voice was silk and bone. "They run, you stay." My throat was dry. I tried to look away and I didn't. "I know your name, Kellen," she said, brushing a finger against my collarbone. "I know what you dream about. I can make it come true." Every instinct screamed, "Say nothing, don't move," but I opened my mouth anyway. "What are you?" Her smile bloomed slow and cruel. "That," she purred, "was the wrong question." After that night, something changed. I didn't notice it at first. A tingling under the skin, a flicker in my reflection. On the monitor feeds, room 7A would go black whenever she passed. No static, just absence. But by the time I showered, after my shift, I found it. A faint sigil etched into my chest, right above my heart. Not a scar, not ink. Something glowing beneath my skin. like it had been carved into my soul. I tried to scrub it away. It only got brighter. That night I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Mira standing in front of my bed, her red hair flowing upward like flames, whispering things in a language that made my teeth ache. On the 6th night, I finally spoke to someone other than the dancers. Her name was Stefan. She was the only bartender who worked every shift. And unlike the others, she blinked like a human and wore a silver ring on her left hand that hummed when certain vampires got too close. "You're marked now," she said, as she slid a glass of something dark and earthy across the bar. "She touched you. That's how it starts." "What is it?" I asked. "Some kind of curse?" Stefan shook her head. "Worse. It's a claim. Mira doesn't mark prey. She marks potential." I frowned. "Potential for what?" Her voice dropped low. "To be like her, or to be used by her." She leaned in closer. "If you want out, you have 3 days. After that, your blood's in the ledger." I didn't ask what the ledger was. I was too afraid of the answer. I tried to quit. Went home, packed a bag. But when I opened my apartment door, it didn't lead to my hallway. It led to the dressing room at the Red Veil. Mira was waiting. She stood before the mirror, brushing her hair with a comb made from bone. Dozens of her filled the reflection, each doing something different. Smiling, crying, screaming silently. "You can't leave," she said gently. "You said my name. I didn't mean to." "But you did." She turned. "Now you're mine, unless you'd rather take his place." She gestured to the corner I hadn't noticed before. A man sat slumped in a velvet chair, security uniform, hollow eyes, a name tag that read J. Thorne. The predecessor I was told about. He hadn't gone missing. He had been emptied. Back on shift, I started seeing my reflection lagging. Not missing, just off, a half-second behind. Then it started doing things that I wasn't, turning its head, smiling. Then it spoke. "She'll let you live if you give her someone else," it said. "You know the rules, Kellen. They're not guidelines, they're offers." That night, Mira took me. Hot, wet, sweaty, orgasmic. And then she danced for no one. The club was empty. The lights pulsed in time with my heartbeat, and all the mirrors turned to face me. 2 weeks later, I sat behind the same old desk I first walked up to. Oak carved with runes, shadows curling across the wood like smoke. The office is cold, always has been, but now it belongs to me. My hands rest on the leather folder. Inside, the rules. Across from me sits a kid, tall, quiet, blank-eyed the way I used to be. No attachments, clean record, easy pickings. The boy's voice cracks. "This is just a strip club, right?" I forced a smile, one that I had been practicing in the mirror. "He'll be fine," I lied. "Just follow the rules." And I slid the folder across the desk. I just wanted out of this place. I needed out of this living hell. Later that night, Stefan was gone. Not dead, just gone. She disappeared the moment Mira whispered something in her ear during a feeding break. A punishment, maybe? A mercy? Or a warning? I tried to leave again after that. Packed again, tried the front door, the emergency exit, the loading dock. Nothing worked. Every exit led back to the same hallway. And waiting at the end of it, lit by the soft glow of red chandeliers, was Mira. Her smile was endless, her voice velvet and venom. "You said my name," she whispered, circling me. "You asked questions, you broke the rules, Kellen. But now you're part of them." I begged, not for freedom, but for truth. "Who are you, really?" She had leaned in and kissed my cheek. "I'm the one who keeps the doors closed between your world and what's waiting behind it." Now, the hollow-eyed man, his name was Jay Thorne, walked by alone, alive, free, at least that's what it looked like. No more sigil on his chest, no more ghosts in his mirror. He's human again? Has he earned it? I've learned that every now and then he wakes in the middle of the night and he can still hear the music, just under the floorboards, just behind the wall. Now, I walk the floor like a warden. I'm no longer prey, no longer curious, but I'm no longer myself either. Mira dances. She doesn't look at me. She doesn't need to. Her breasts like the forbidden fruit of an enchanted forest. Her body smooth and curvy. Her slightly wet womanhood drawing everyone in like bees into the most succulent honey. She was art. I was trapped, but I began to love it. Got used to it. She would take me on some nights alone, and on other nights she would bring along a group of other gorgeous witches to drain my body of every ounce of energy I had in it. And it became what felt like forever. I'll do my job. I'll train the next one, and the one after, and maybe the one after, until one day, if the curse allows it, someone else will break rule number 1, and then, maybe, then, I'll be free.